What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Cubs franchise here on MLB The Show 22. It's been a long time. It's been about 2 weeks since the last upload, but we're back. We're ready to go. So welcome, everybody, to the live draft. Just making sure that the microphone is working here. So just like last time, year one and year two, we're going to be working on the wheel spins, and we've got patrons, and we've got Bradley Braves series going on as well. So just moving through each screen here. I'm going to show you guys what player each team's going to get, because I think the last couple drafts we've been kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Like, you guys don't, like, they're just names. You have no idea who these guys are. So really what ends up happening is inside NCAA Baseball 07, I take over some of these seniors that are up here on this board, like Mike Hughes or Mike Damaraki, first baseman from Arkansas. We can see that his batting stats from this season, he hit very, very well. Looking at his career batting stats, 305, 32 homers. So I'm going to showcase each player here and give you kind of their player card when they get called and when they get drafted. So that'd be kind of a cool little thing here as I do this series over on Twitch. Unfortunately, we did not make the tournament in Season 3, but the team is progressing, which is nice, which is good. So what do you say we get right into this thing and go ahead and get right to the draft? We're going to sim straight to the draft. Actually, we're going to go keep active, auto-utilize, go to the draft. All right, so here's how we're going to work this. We're going to do it the same way. We're going to do the wheel spins. But we actually have pick number 22. So pick 22 up on the board. I don't know if we're going to be able to draft a custom prospect. I think we finished too high in the season last year. So we'll see where these guys land. We'll do patrons after we do the blue chip players that are coming from NCAA. Patrons, you guys are the 18-year-olds, the high schoolers. You guys are getting drafted out of high school. These guys are college-level people getting drafted, so they're just a little bit higher overall. So what do you say we go ahead and do our selection? Let's see what we got here. So we're up here at 22nd, but we're going to have to go through each and every team to see who they drafted. So positionally, we got 4 starting pitchers and a closer coming off the board. So we'll want to replace one of these guys up on the screen here with one of those pitchers. So right here you see the Patreon positional. These are submissions coming through from my patrons. Got third base, outfield, second base, shortstop. These are all positional guys. If we go over here to the blue chip side, the blue chip pitchers, these are all NCAA pitchers that are coming over here for the draft. So we've got Nicola, Reyes, Nakashima, Durst, and Wirtz. So we got 5 pitchers, which actually works out perfectly because we have 5 pitchers coming off the board in MLB The Show. So pretty sweet right there. So our top 5 will be taken off this board. But we got to figure out where they're going. So the first overall draft pick will be, and I'll share with you guys their statistics here, would be Nakashima. Wow. We're going to come up with a first name here because they don't give you the first names in this screen. But J. Nakashima. If you guys give me some names too, just post them in the live chat. Give me a Japanese first name like Joshi or something. I don't know. Just come up with a Japanese first name for Nakashima. But if we take a look at his statistics, let's see what they're getting. Who are the Kansas City Royals grabbing here? Because he seems like he's a pretty good pitcher all the way around. Let's see. Is he down here in the... He's actually not in this list in the All-America team. So we got to go to the Roger Clemens Award here, I believe. So Nakashima finished 8th in the Roger Clemens Award. Nicola, Wirtz, and Durst actually finished higher than he did. Interesting. But Nakashima, his pitching stats for the season, he went 11-3, 287, 109, and 45. He's a left-handed pitcher. Went 21-9 in his career, 2.89 ERA, 191 strikeouts to 92 walks. So he does have some good control. He's 6'5", 250. So he's kind of a big boy. He's kind of a big boy. So not a bad player at all to go number 1. So they obviously like size, and it's going to go to Kansas City. So next up we've got Rodney Gentry for the Pirates. So we've got to determine who that's going to be. So we'll remove Nakashima here. We'll spin that wheel, baby, see who's going where. Looks like Reyes from BYU. Going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right. What do we got here for Mr. Reyes? I think Reyes, out of everyone here, might have been the worst pitcher. He's got a 4.44 ERA, but he's got a ton of strikeouts. So that's kind of the big thing with him. A lot of strikeouts, 394 in his career. Went 30-25, so he must have been a part of some bad BYU teams. But, got a lot of losses to show for it. But I don't think this season he was too bad at all. He went 11-4, really had a great senior season as a lefty here. 6 feet 190, kind of a little bit on the smaller side. But 262, 114 for strikeouts and 45 walks. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. So who do we got next? The Orioles with another pitcher. So we got Orioles, Mariners, and Twins. Orioles, Mariners, and Twins. So the Orioles, who are they taking? I'm going to say Wirtz. Yep, there you go. So Wirtz from USC. If you guys are not following this series over on Twitch, Wirtz was not too bad, man. He led this team to a number 1 seed in the regionals. They ended up making it to the super regionals and losing, but man, they made it to the finals, excuse me. They made it to the College World Series, the championship round against Georgetown. Georgetown ended up winning the whole thing, so kind of funny, but 6'3", I probably would have taken him number 1. 124 strikeouts, 217, 10-2 last season. And career numbers, 318 for strikeouts, 145 walks, so almost a 3-to-1 ratio for strikeouts to walks, and a 2.97 sub-3 ERA, man. 25-13. I probably would have taken him number 1 overall. So the Orioles continue to just stack. They just continue to stack. It's crazy. They've been doing really well in our drafts here. Actually, that would be going to the. Nope. Yep, that's good. So he's going to the Mariners. Got it. Yep, there you go. So we got 3 pitchers off the board here. We got Baroa, Castillo, Mariners, Twinkies coming up next. Got Durst and Nicola coming up. So it's going to be Nicola from Air Force. And he actually finished ahead of a lot of these guys that are getting drafted. So this is kind of good value here. 281 this season, 111 Ks, 38 walks. Career pitching wise, 413. Look at that. It's a bunch of strikeouts again. So look at all these lefties. Wirtz is the only righty in this entire group, it seems. Well, Durst, I should say. But so Wirtz and Durst, the only 2 righties here. Nakashima, lefty. Nicola, lefty. But Nicola, not too bad. Air Force apparently had a really good team last season. All right, which means that Durst, we'll just spin it for fun, but Durst will be headed over to the Minnesota Twins. And his numbers look like that. 315, 122, 315 strikeouts, 122 walks, 360, 26 and 18. So he's a winner. He's a winner. And his pitching stats for this season were pretty darn good. 11 and 4, 226. So he's also leading his team to the tournament as well. All right, so that's going to do it for the blue chip pitchers. We'll move over here to the blue chip positional players, which we've got quite a few of them. We've got 8 to be exact. So these 8 guys will be up on the board here for any positional player that was drafted in the show. So we're right here with the A's, the Rockies, the Giants, the Rangers. Look at this. So this works out perfectly. So we're going to have a nice little run of blue chip positional guys. So we got Paniagua to the A's, Rockies, Giants, Rangers. So no pitcher is being selected until the Nationals here at number 15. So let's just go ahead and get these guys spinned up here. A's and Rockies. Now, it doesn't matter if they're catchers or not. I'm changing them anyway. So we'll see what we got here. All right, so the Oakland Athletics will be taking... God, dude, I wanted this guy. I'll show you his stats here in a second. But, man, Titus Klesko out of Clemson. That sucks. I wanted that guy. Let me go ahead and show you his numbers here. As you can see, Georgetown there, 42 and 20 this season. All right, so I took these guys from the All-America team, but we got Hughes, Damaraki, Lampkin, Klesko. Look at this guy from Clemson, man. Statistics this season: 36 stolen bases, 4.34 OBP, 14 homers, 39 ribbies. Third baseman. It's like, what do we need as the Cubs? We need a third baseman. Eventually, we need one. We've got Devers here for long term. We gotta have a guy up in the wings here. We got Wisdom that's kind of getting older, but he went off this season. 94 ribbies, 100. Look at, he had 80. No, that's career batting. Excuse me. 370 batting average this season. Yeah, career wise, 82 stolen bases. So he's got speed as a third baseman. Like, Klesko is gonna be. He's gonna be something special, man. Something special. All right, next up on the board will be the Rockies. They're going to get second base outfielder Tony Lampkin from Lafayette. Tony Lampkin from Lafayette. So he's right above him. Hitting 343 this past season. 104 runs, 30 stolen bags. So he's hitting for power. He's hitting for average. Very high average. Chips in a few stolen bases here and there, so he can play second and outfield, so he gives him some nice depth for sure. I like it. It's a good pick. Good pick for the Rockies. Next up, the Giants. Giants, Rangers, Reds. Giants, Rangers, and Reds. Matt Hughes Starting catcher for the Georgetown Hoyas that won a national championship. We'll take a look at this guy here. Mike Hughes. 318 career batting average at the NCAA level. It's a little low. It's a little low as a career batting average, but this season, for college, a lot of guys that get drafted this high are hitting really high. But this season, he bumped that batting average up. You can only imagine what it was before he had his senior season. 335, 17 homers, 50 ribs. Chipped in a few stolen bases there with 4, but OBP over 400. That's a really good number for a catcher. And fielding-wise, he leaves a little bit left to be desired. Throwing strength is 75, accuracy is an 80. It's not bad, but his fielding is definitely not his strong suit. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, overall, Hughes is a good player. Good, decent little player for the Giants. So they're looking for a Buster Posey replacement. I mean, I know they got Joey Bart, but good catcher right there. All right, next up we got the Rangers. The Rangers will take right fielder DH Eli Lilly out of Seton Hall. Eli Lilly out of Seton Hall. Let's take a look at this guy here. 379. Oh man, gotta watch out for the Rangers here in this series, man. They might be onto something here. From the AL side of things, so we'll keep tabs on them. But Eli Lilly, a right fielder DH, hitting 379, 34 stolen bags, almost a 500 OBP. That's ridiculous. And think, just kind of like Hughes, but think about this guy. Hit 317 in his career, 379 this season. So what was it before? Like 280? I mean, my God. 65 stolen bags, 129 ribbies a career. That's a good career. I'd call that a pretty good career, and the Rangers get a good one there. All right, next up will be the Cincinnati Reds, then the D-backs, the Phillies, the Rays, and I think that'll do it for our list here for blue chips. So we also have another Georgetown player come off the board. That's Andy Gillespie, a shortstop second baseman here going to the Reds. They kind of need that. They kind of need some middle infield help there. I know they have Jonathan India, but that's not a bad selection here. Guy won a national championship, and he kind of looks like Jonathan India. I like that. It's cool. 6'2", 216, not bad size for a second baseman. 318 career, 59 stolen bases. This season, 356, so he's one of the top batting average leaders this season. 28 stolen bags, too. 18 homers for a second baseman. That's not bad. At the college level, too, that's definitely not bad. It's a very short season for college players. So the Reds get a nice player in Gillespie, and a winner at that. So, again, we got to watch out for the Reds in the NL Central. There's a couple teams I'm looking out for, the Rangers and the Reds. Two teams that I did franchise series on. Go figure that. Next up, the D-backs will take Paul Dietz out of Seton Hall. And Paul Dietz, they got a lot of Seton Hall guys. Look at this. They got a run of first-team Baseball America All-Americans. Whit Miltenberger, Eli Lilly, Paul Dietz. So the whole entire outfield of Seton Hall, man, it's crazy. But Dietz gets selected here, 335 this past season, 78 hits, 400 OBP. Career was 294, so he really turned it on this season to get it all figured out. But very good hitter. Looks like the Diamondbacks are really shooting for that one-year wonder. So we'll see how Dietz and his potential rating is going to get to translate at the big league level. All right, so that leaves two players left. We got Mike Domaraki and Whit Miltenberger. And the two teams left on the board would be the Phillies and the Rays. And I can show you that right here. So we got Phillies, Rays, and then we'll move to the patrons because we won't have any more positional players left. So we don't have any blue chip pitchers or blue chip positional players to take. So we're going to move on to the patrons. So you patrons would be subject to go to the Braves, the Nats, the Marlins, the Yankees, so on and so forth. So the Cubbies might hold on and get a custom player. So we'll see. We'll see how that's all going to play out. But let's figure out who the Phillies and the Rays are going to take here. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel. We'll do process of elimination here, and we'll cover both players that get taken. So we got Mike Damaraki. He's going to go to the Phillies, and I kind of like that. He kind of fits the Phillies, man. Just that name, Mike Damaraki from Arkansas. Arkansas. My grandparents were from Arkansas. Kind of a Razorback guy myself. 367, Mike Damaraki. 6'3", man. He's a big dude. So they're kind of looking at the Reese Hoskins replacement eventually. Like he started off strong, and lately he's been all right. They can do a little bit better, but this is a good addition. He bats left-handed, and he looks like he's going to hit a bunch of home runs for him too. Career batting 305, 32 home runs. So he's really only played a couple years. You do the math there. So he hit 23 this season, had 32 career. Somewhere there were 9 home runs split in there. Probably his junior season, I would assume. But yeah, so Mike Damaraki going to the Phillies. Next up, the Rays, and then we'll move on to our patrons. We've got Whit Miltenberger. That'll be who's left up on the board. Whit Miltenberger. And he was just one of those guys that for Seton Hall that just he's a hitter, man. He's a pure hitter. Look at this. Look at the batting average. 317 career. 379. Oh, that's Lilly. Sorry. Excuse me. Miltenberger. 393. There you go. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. This is how good that he was. 393. Absolutely insane. And when he got on, he stole bases. 24. Career 38. 309 average career. So again, what was it in his last few seasons? And actually, I do want to take a look at that and see who is the batting average leader. Because I'm pretty sure it's got to be Miltenberger. It has to be. I want to see the leaders. There we go. Leaders in batting average. Ooh, nope, it's not. It's this guy. Luke Vicks. Oh, we should have thrown him into the mix, don't you think? The dude at 449. He's a senior. What about Zeal? 441 with 20 home runs. Do you think we should include this guy? That's pretty insane, though, if you think about it. Preziosi. Ooh, I'm getting hard-pressed here, guys. 26 stolen bags, hitting 417 as a catcher. What the What do you guys think? Got 8 people in the chat here tonight. What do you guys think here? It's only got to be seniors, by the way. What about Caton? 409. Billick. I thought I would consider this guy. Florida International. Shortstop infielder, 409 as well. Like, yeah, there's some pretty good seniors up here, man. So, man, 400. I guess this guy that hit 393. Ooh, look at this guy. UCLA starting pitcher, McGowan. He didn't even need he's a two-way. Unless he's just so good at hitting, they just said, whatever, go out there and just get it done. Oh, my God, that's insane. It's absolutely insane. But let me know what you guys think here. Miltenberger 14 with 393. That's not too bad. But, man, how could I have him but not these other dudes up here hitting 441? I think I have to throw this guy in here. Zeal. That's insanity. He's a good defender, too. Look at the range, the fielding. This guy's a top prospect. Oh, you know why? He's a junior. My fault here. My fault here. He's a junior. This guy, though, Luke Vicks, 372 career. 15 homers career. He had 8 this season. 50 stolen bases. Oh, my God. As a first baseman utility guy. He can play the infield, too. I got to throw him in here. He'll be a regular. He won't be a blue chip. I gotta throw him in there, though. That's crazy. So we'll do it as a... actually, he'll be the next guy taken. How about that? So he's going to go to the Braves. Here you go, right here. So he'll go to the Braves. So we got Miltonberger going to the Rays. We'll have this guy. We'll have that guy, Luke Vicks, going to the Braves. He's a third baseman anyway, right? This guy, this Pedro Murillo. I think it works. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the patrons. We're gonna move on to the patrons side of things. So let's go ahead and change this up. We're gonna exit out of you. We have our patron pitchers and our patron positionals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 patron pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patron positional players. Then we'll move, after those guys, we'll move on to NCAA regular positional players. So these are guys that that I wanted to throw in, that I wanted to include, just because they were like Gold Glove winners. They don't hit very well. They just kind of do one thing. They're kind of one-trick ponies. So yeah, possibly the Cubs are probably gonna be able to draft a guy here. So, but we'll see how it all shakes out. So next up on the board, switching screens here, will be a pitcher. So to the Nationals, we're going to figure out which patron from our pitchers is going to be a National. Who's going to be a Washington National? Matt DeLucci, Richard Strongman, Alan Afe. No, they're going to skip him. They're going to go with Akira Mifune. Probably Acura Mifune. Interesting name there, but that's where he's going to go. I obviously don't have screenshots for you with these players because these are all patron guys. They're not a part of the game yet. These are going to be players from high school. So I think I mentioned that before, but these are going to be guys that are 18 years old coming over, or 19. I think I'll defer to 19 years old. But all right, Patreon positional players for the Marlins. Let's go over here. We got Charles Pinkard, Folkert Bomber, French Tabasco. Please go there. Yes, great, perfect. That was meant to be. That was absolutely meant to be. French Tabasco going to Miami. Perfect. Could have asked for a better player to go there. Yankees will take a positional player. So keep spinning that wheel. They're going to take third base outfielder Charles Pinkard, who is actually a contest winner. So if you guys need me to remind you quickly about channel points, he was able to purchase a 75 overall A potential player for 300 channel points. If you guys, again, don't know what channel points are, they are forms, they're Google forms that you fill out every Sunday and Monday. You fill these questions out. I ask you like simple question like who's going to win the game, who's going to have the most yards, who's going to hit a home run, who's going to have how many strikeouts, these types of things. You answer those questions and you get points for getting stuff right. You can also bet your points and multiply them. So if you got the question right, you bet 5 points and the multiplier was times 5. 5 points times 5 is 25. You'd win 25 points right then and there. So, I mean, that would be good enough to get you a New Orleans Saints franchise player right off the bat. So it's a pretty cool system and gets you involved in the other series. And, of course, that's how Charles Pinkard just got his player to the New York Yankees as a 75A player. So let's go on and move over here to... And it's also a cheap way to do it. If you don't want to become a patron where you're paying money, helping support me and helping support the channel, if you don't want to do it that way, that's a quick and easy way to do it. You can earn your points through channel points. So, all right, so we also got a little run of pitchers here within the last 4 picks. We got Guardians, White Sox, and Cardinals. But the White Sox are next for our spin the wheel. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Game capture. Yes, that actually is what I wanted to do. Screen capture. There we go. All right, so we got the White Sox coming up here. They are taking a pitcher. What's up, Da Games? Sequestral's in here. Two Twins Gaming. What game is this? Which one? The college one? That's NCAA 07. White Sox are going to take in pitcher Alanafe Alta Garcia. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let me see who came up with that name. Let's see who we got here. There's Akira. That's from Rico Ramos. We have... Oops, shoot. Yeah, we don't want that in there. There we go. Nope, we don't want that in there. That's from Josh Bankston. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's from Josh Bankston. There you go. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. God, I hate doing that. I hate doing that. All right, the Brewers. Positional patron. What do we got? What do we got? Probably Folkert's Bomber. They always seem to do that. Take these weird names. Look at this. They're going to do it. Folkert Bomber. Oh, man. So they got Mikey Porter, Folkert Bomber. They've got a ton of Patreon players here, custom players. So he's going to go to the Brew Crew. Oops. Next up. 2 pitchers. Cardinals, Guardians. Cardinals and Guardians. Cardinals up first. I want to say they'll probably get DeLucci. Nope. It's going to be either Strongman or... Nope, Davidson. Luke Davidson's going to be a Cardinal. And then the Guardians will select... Of course they would. I wanted Matt DeLucci. Dang it. I wanted Matt DeLucci. That sucks. Well, Matt DeLucci's going to be a Guardian now. So we've got a couple patrons left up on the board. We've also got these guys here who are coming over from the NCAA series on Twitch. So it really depends on what we want to go with here. So we could again go with another pitcher. We've done that for the last couple times in our drafts. Or we could address some positional needs. Outfield for Sebastian Salvatore. That's tough for me because we've got a ton of outfielders, young outfielders at that. We've already addressed catcher. We addressed first base last season's draft, catcher in year one's draft. So Kane Thorne, Grady Snow, I just don't see how they're going to fit within what we're trying to do. And then, of course, second base is kind of locked down with Nick Madrigal. But the eligibility for Sebastian Salvatore is pretty lucrative. You get a guy that can play second and the outfield, that might force my hand a little bit. Or you could go with Richard Strongman, who's also pretty darn good. So all of our patrons, of course, are rated a particular way. So you can see that here on the screen. If you're orange, it's a $20 patron, you're 75A. $10, you're 70B. $5 in yellow, you're 65B. So Bomber's been taken, DeLucci's been taken, Tabasco's been taken. Sebastian Salvatore and Kane Thorne are the two $20 patrons that are left. So we would be guaranteed a 75A if we went this route. If we went Grady Snow and get a 65B, you're losing 10 overall points there, but do we really need another catcher? I'm not sure. Richard Strongman would be interesting. Again, 6 foot 190. He's a left-hander, but he's a 70B. So he might not have the 5 overall points or the potential, but you know you could say that we need as many arms as we possibly can get. But man, Sebastian Salvatore is very interesting to me, man. 6'2", 220. Let's see what we've got here. Do we have a player backstory from Dalton? We don't. But he's got a Robinson Cano batting stance. He's a switch hitter. I don't think you can say no to that, man. If he's got power, this is something that we lack within our team. And I can't give you guys what our depth chart looks like, but with Nick Madrigal, he's just a pure contact guy. You know, he doesn't there's no power there. So I don't know if eventually maybe, you know, Madrigal, he plays well defensively. Is he going to be a guy that moves to DH? He's a contact hitting DH guy, or, you know, do we put Sebastian Salvatore as a DH? Either way, we get really lucky here, and we're going to take Sebastian Salvatore. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to take him off the board, and I don't think that there's any more blue chip players here, but we'll just take a second baseman. Doesn't matter, like, the potential or anything. It really doesn't matter because we're gonna replace this guy. The one thing that I do want to make sure though is because you can't change the player's hot and cold zones. I want to make sure that we take a guy that has some pretty good ones, like this guy, Geraldo Castaneda. Look at that. That's perfect. This is what we need right here as Sebastian Salvatore. And by the way, all these other players that were taken ahead of us, that's what I'm going to be looking for throughout the rest of these teams' drafts. So we're not going to be doing a round 3 for them or like round 4, round 5. You get the gist of the drill. But what I am going to do is whoever has like the best hot and cold zones for these hitters, I'm going to make sure that I replace them with your guys. Because what we don't want to happen is we don't want these dudes to come in here as a Patreon guy and have this kind of hot and cold zone, like right there, like Jim McCain. That player will never do anything in simulation, and you can't change it. There's no way like you can edit a player to change the hot and cold zones. The only time that these change, I don't know if you guys know this or not, the only time that these change is if the player's actually doing something in gameplay. So in simulation, it doesn't matter. But in gameplay, if you throw a fastball right down the middle to McCain and he drills it, that's going to start changing to more red than it is blue. But those instances are so far and few between, so few and far between, if I can talk, that it's almost pointless. So I need to make sure that when I replace these CPU guys, they got to have good numbers. They got to have good hot and cold zones. But I think you can't really go wrong with Castaneda here. What do you guys think here? Am I right in thinking that, or do I want to do Jose Fernandez? Rest in peace. Or Edwin Vila, but he only hits lefties well, really. Yeah, I think it's Castaneda. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take Castaneda here, and then we're gonna see the rest of the picks flying in, all the way up until our next one. And we're gonna go back here to round 1 and hopefully finish that round 1 fairly quickly. So that's who we're gonna take. We're gonna take Salvatore as our second baseman. So we'll take him off the list. And we'll keep on going here. So who's up next? The age-old question. We got the Tigers and the Astros. 2 positional players. Perfect, because we've got 2 positional patrons left to go. It'll be Grady Snow to the Tigers or Kane Thorne to the Tigers. Who's it going to be? And the funny thing is that in the game, they both took 2 catchers, and these guys both can play catcher. So it works out. So they're going to select Kane Thorne, and then the Astros will select Grady Snow. So that's fine by me. So we'll go ahead and move on. So Kane Thorne to the Tigers, Grady Snow to the Astros. And then we got the Blue Jays and a positional player, Padres, Angels, Mets, Dodgers, Red Sox. So we got a nice run there of taking guys from the NCAA series. These are all regular players. They're not like any special treatment here. They're not patrons. They're not blue chips. They're not special, let's just say. But I can show you guys their statistics too, so you kind of know what each team is going to get here. But first on the board will be the Blue Jays, Padres, and Angels. So Blue Jays, Padres, Angels. What's up, Heizo Ramos? Dalton Jett. Gold finally drafted one of my prospects. Absol, what's up, y'all? What's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. So the Blue Jays will take this guy, Ryan Buxo. I wish I could do 2-way players. Like, I could make Buxo a starting pitcher. I could take over a player that they draft as a starting pitcher, and I could, make him a 2-way. But I can't change the depth charts. I can't change the lineups. I can't force the CPU to make sure that he gets his minimums in order to do that. But Ryan Buxo is a 2-way guy, which makes him interesting. But like I said, unfortunately, there's no way to make that happen for him. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to run with it. Now, where did I see him at? He was he an offensive player of the year? Nope. Wasn't conference player of the year. Where was he? Pitcher? Buxo. Where is Buxo? Not a freshman. Definitely not a freshman. Maybe all no, I didn't look at conference teams. There he is. Buxo. From Lafayette. So the guy goes 118 innings, 267. He's a good pitcher. But look at his batting numbers. He hit 398 this season. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be. I think he's a better hitter than he is a pitcher. So I think I know the answer. I think I'm going to just make him an outfielder. And that's who this team's going to get. So that is who the Blue Jays are going to get. Padres, next up on the board. Let's see who they're going to grab. I'm thinking Coltrinari. Nope. Sean LaBeouf. You know, I could have made this Shia, which I think would have been hilarious. But you know me sometimes, guys. I'm kind of a stick in the mud sometimes. Where is Mr. Shia LaBeouf here? There he is. BYU. So he hit 433. Not a lot of power for a guy hitting 433. Plays third base, play the infield corner spots. But, you know, the batting average speaks. 503 OBP. I think that's awesome. That's great. So we'll go ahead and spin for the next team, which will be the Angels. Who are the Angels going to take? I like this guy too. Chris Corpy out of Mizzou. Missouri Tigers. Where's Mr. Chris Corpy here? I think he was a Gold Glover. After my namesake here. There he is. So 276. Again, he's just kind of one of those little nifty little players. 6'3", good size. Very good. He's like a Brandon Inge, basically. That's kind of what I like about him. He's a Brandon Inge. You guys probably don't even know who Brandon Inge is. But he's going to go to the Angels. Next up, we've got the Mets and the Dodgers. Mets and the Dodgers. The Mets will take Jake Fritz, which ultimately means that the Dodgers will get Chris Coltrinari out of Gonzaga. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those two guys. So Jake Fritz. There he is. Jake Fritz on the all-offensive team. You know, the two-way type of guy, but again, I can't manage the two-ways for CPUs. Better hitter than he is a pitcher, I think. I've looked at his record, 7-8. Had a pretty decent ERA, good strikeout to walk. Not a lot of stamina, but hitting-wise, he was great. 447, 6 homers, 581 OBP. That's insane. So yeah, the Mets got a good little player right there, I'd say, with Jake Fritz. And next up, we've got Chris Coltrinari out of Gonzaga. He's going to the Dodgers. Left fielder, can play DH, hit 358 this season. Good pop, good power, 444 OBP. And career-wise, over 120 ribbies, 92 runs, scored. Yeah, he's good. Almost 200 hits. So, and 5'9". So he's, I don't know, he might be a center fielder. I don't know if I'm liking his size out there in left field. Might be a center fielder, nice little speedy type guy. But yeah, so I think that's gonna. Oh shoot, we missed Richard Strongman. Where's Richard Strongman gonna go? Oh, that's my fault. Did we have another pitcher go off the board? No, we didn't. We didn't. So he's kind of lucking out here. Sweet. Okay, good. So he'd be our last draft pick of the night. Because if you look here, the last pitcher came off with the Guardians. And I know that they took a guy that was where he was supposed to go. So I don't have anybody left for the Red Sox. So the Red Sox are left out of this. As the last team to make a selection, they don't have anybody to take. So the Red Sox are not taking anybody. The Orioles. Of course it's the freaking Orioles, man. They've been killing the drafts the last 3 seasons. Every draft they seem to be like just absolutely destroying the rest of the league. So they're going to take Richard Strongman, and just for celebratory reasons, there you go. So whoever put in Richard Strongman, there you go. You're gonna be an O. You're gonna be an O. You're gonna be an O. A Baltimore Oriole. Which is strong, man. There we go. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for our spins. So now it's time, guys. Now it's time to just get right into the normal draft. And you guys are gonna do this with me, just like you did last time. So what do we got here? What do we got up on the board here? Let me move this mic over so I can talk. Here, see. The one player that we've got fully the majority scouted, about 75% scouted, would be Thomas Green. You know, he's got really... Ooh. That's some pretty decent numbers right there. Wow. Yeah. As far as like simulation goes, he's going to be a boss. Fielding. Let me see if I can move this screen up a little bit. There we go. He's a great fielder. Contact, he's going to be pretty average. Power, this is just not the type of player he is. Speed, reaction. So he's a very good fielder, but those hot and cold zones will play. That is interesting. No, he sucks. Stop it. What are you talking about? All right. Can we look at our depth chart? So, starting pitchers. Don't be fooled by this list, because we've actually got really good starting pitching. It's very young. We still have Cole Winn down there. We've got Braylon Marquez. Like, we've got some really good pitching. It's young. It's youthful. Like, we don't necessarily need to take another arm. Like, you could if you wanted to, but I'm not comfortable with a lot of these guys down here that they've got some high potential, but we haven't scouted them. So I'm a little concerned by that. And if you sort by ETA, we've got Derek Thayer, who throws 97. He's just a power pitcher. He's a power pitcher, man. 97, 93, 92 sinker. Holy crap. He's 19 years old. He's 19 years old. 6'3". That's hard to pass up, but is he going to be one of those guys that's got like the C potential? You know what I mean? Adrian Valencia, 19 years old. Stamina, he can rock and fire all night. Control from a 40 to a 70. That's the grade. That's not the actual attribute rating, but that's his grade. Good control pitcher, good strikeout pitcher by the looks of it. Man, that's tough. That's tough to say no to. But again, I'm a little worried about grabbing the C potential guy. I'm a little worried by that. Let's look at some closers. Nope, no closers. ETA is a little bit too long out. What about Aubrey Armstrong? 96, 92, 89. 3-pitch mix. I don't like that of a starting pitcher. That's the thing. So that's really what's kind of throwing me off here about Derek Thayer. So he seems more like he's got the stamina for it, but a 3-pitch mix, I don't know if I'm all about that. Catcher, Clayton Davis, only position that he can play. Again, I'm not really about drafting a catcher this season. Now, if you look at that depth chart there, we got Rizzo, we got Pierce. Pierce is the up and coming guy. Like we've got some good depth with Beatty, Cavadas, but Pierce is the next up and coming guy. 79A at 22, so we don't really need first base. Second base, we took Salvatore. I think he's probably going to be the answer here if James Triantos doesn't really do anything. Because I love James Triantos. He's 77. C at 21. So he's still got a lot of room to grow. But Salvatore, man, he's going to be 75A. He's going to grow faster than Triantos, and we're going to have to find a home for Triantos, I feel like. We got Devers at 27. We're getting a little old at third base, I think. Hanser Alberto's 31. Christopher Morel's more of an outfielder to me than an infielder. So I think third base is probably our answer here. Victor Alonso, not going to be a good hitter in sim, it seems like, but can play third, can play first, hits left, 6'3". We scouted him up a little bit, about 50%. He's actually pretty fast too. Look at the speed. Now the scouted speed's an 80. The current is an 80. What was scouted was a 65. The scouted is that. I wish they would change the colors of that because it's hard to tell on stream. The left number is what's current. The scouted is what's on the right. So he's currently at an 80 speed. That's not the attribute. Again, that's what he's at currently. That's what his grade is. He's an 80. He's at elite level speed currently. That's what they say. And then scouted speed is different. Like that's what your scouts have scouted and says, well, he's really not that fast. Contact, he could be an 80. Like he could be an elite level hitter. Power, not so much. Vision, could be an elite level. Discipline, man, he's pretty good. What do you guys think? Dalton says Conley's a starting pitcher. David Ott says I'd take C potential if he's a fireballer. Lonzo seems sketchy, but he's scouted enough to take it damn close to accurate. Man, that's tough. But he's 21 too. He's 21 years old. Let's take a look at another guy here. Emmett Banks. No, not interested in Emmett Banks. What about Donald Jackson? Not feeling it. Corey Cummings, I'm also not feeling that. Harold Ramos has got a ridiculous looking stash. Yusniel Valenzuela. Ooh, he might be a guy we could take late. Look at this guy. It's about 30% scouted. Can take it to all fields. 32, 32, 36. Injury risk is average. 6'7", in the 60-yard dash. Now, what is Victor Alonso in the 60-yard dash? 6'6". So, Yusniel seems a little bit faster. No, he doesn't. He's a little slower, actually. A little slower. And he's a year older. It's tough, man. It's tough. But we need a third baseman. Absolutely. Valenzuela's old. Yeah, he's 22. He's old. I think we're just going to run with Victor Alonso. That's probably a D potential pick. I think that's what's going to hurt us here. All right, let's see who's left up on the board. And we'll sort by ETA again. See if our guys are still there. And Derek Thayer's still here. The fireballer. He's still there. Valencia's here. Remember we were looking at him. Miguel Castaneda. Good mix. Kind of a softer thrower. But the current scouting, we have him out as a red. That's not good. Pablo Colon. 96, 90, 89, 84. That's interesting. Look at the break. Currently is 65, but he could be an 80. Velocity is currently a 70. Could be an 80. Hit per 9 is not that far off. K per 9 is far off, but you know, he seems like he's going to be one of those guys that even though he throws 96, he's going to be kind of a control guy. You know, he's put the ball in play guy. Pablo Colon or Derek Thayer kind of catching my eye right now, honestly. There's so many players. Hard to go through them all on stream. Josh Aubrey. Look at this guy. This is interesting too. 93, 91 two-seamer sinker, sweeping curve, slider and change that he breaks off. Look at age 20. He's 24 years old. Oh, man. He's the oldest guy in the draft. He's got to be. Oh, my God. Look at all these guys, 24 years old. Where are you coming from? Holy crap. Got a lot of catchers that we scouted accidentally here, but Doug Tejada? That's not gonna work. What do you guys think? Now Conley's gone. I trust Cologne more, he says. Yeah, let's go Cologne. Let's go pitcher again. We are getting kind of old in the relief side of things, so I do like my relievers to be starters that kind of shift over to the bullpen and they work there. They earn their way to become a starter. That's kind of my thought process. Derek Thayer. I'm going to take Thayer too. Why not? I'll take Derek Thayer. He throws gas. He could be a closer. I don't care how long you can go in a game, but if you're throwing that hard, you could be a potential closer for me. All right, next. So we took 2 pitchers. We took a second baseman, a third baseman. All right, I think now's the time we take some speed in the outfield. I think we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. So look at this guy, Roscoe Hernandez. Look at this. Against righties, he mashes against righties. This is a one-trick pony. Look at this. Look at. He's a pull hitter against righties. Holy cow. Roscoe Hernandez. That's interesting. You've caught my eye. Carlos Prado. Utilizing the whole field. He's cold a lot of places. Julio Ramirez is very fast. He's a speedy guy. 6'4". 6'3", though, for Lon Bernard. He's 18 years old, 5'7", so he's a little speedy. He's a speedy little midget. And then nobody in right. All right. I was thinking maybe like, ooh, Yusniel's still on the board. But kind of like what Dalton said, he's a little old at 22. Jim McCain. You remember we were looking at Jim McCain? Alan Rogers, 6'5", 18. Got some pretty decent speed. What are you thinking there? Take the risk with Hernandez? Oh, yeah. Roscoe Hernandez? What was Yusniel? I think he was hurt. Oh, Valenzuela. Okay, we don't want that. We want Roscoe. Yeah. Even if he's a one-trick guy, one-trick pony, that's fine. We'll deal with that. I mean, if you're just depth at that point, that's cool. And then the last pick. This is probably, I won't lie, maybe possibly one of our worst drafts. Just looks like we got pitchers left. It really depends on what we like. Oop. Got 270, actually 370 potentials here. Sam Herrera, 70. Ooh, 97. The 97 cut fastball from a lefty. Jeez, oh, Pete's, dude. 97 four-seam. Oh my God, this is our guy, Sam Herrera. Gotta have him. Gotta have him. All right, the moment of truth, boys. Let's see how our draft did. Do I want to look? I'm telling you, I think that guy's a D. Oh. Oh, no. The Castaneda guy doesn't matter. He doesn't matter because he's going to be Salvatore. Oh, man, this draft sucked. We didn't do well at all. Yuck. Victor Alonso's actually a C. But look how fast he is. 90 stealing, 71 speed, reactions can use some work. Vision's 69. He's going to be able to step in and hit. He's a 66, C potential. He'll be all right. He'll be a nice little player. 79, 77 contact. If we can upgrade his power a little bit, should be pretty decent. Pablo Colon, he's one of those DDs. Those double Ds. But he was a safe pick. He's got 82 stamina, 78 velo. Control needs some work, but, he's a little project. You've got a 55D, Derek Thayer. So that velo is what we liked. He'll be a little project. Roscoe's a 55, but a C potential. That's huge. A C potential, a guy that can get into single A and just continue to work on, hitting against lefties. He's going to do his thing against righties. We know that. But that's big time. A C potential guy at 55, so he's going to grow. He's going to grow up right before our eyes. And then Sam Herrera, really good velo. Control is decent as well, but the break is good. I love this pick. Our last pick of the draft, he's a C potential too, as a 54. By comparison, like the Reds had only 190. Everybody else is a C and a D. The Brewers actually took this guy as a B. They had 2 Bs. Everybody else is a C and a D. Ooh, the Pirates had a really good draft by the looks of it. Cardinals had a good draft. They had this guy, Felix Fuentes. Rodriguez and Meadows. D-backs are kind of like similar to us. Rockies similar to us. Dodgers had a better draft, just put that 86 in there. But I don't know. I think we're probably middle of the pack, just comparatively to all these other guys in the draft class here. A lot of guys with those C's and D potentials. But man, the Orioles killed it, dude. These guys will change, obviously, with their 2 picks, but yeah, the Red Sox had 2 80s. So we didn't have any 80s. The Yankees, C's and D's. I think we're all right. I think we could have done better in some areas, but I think we did okay. Honestly, I think we're going to be okay. All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for this live stream tonight. Leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you on Tuesday. Right. So Cubs is now Tuesdays and Fridays. Saints for Madden 23 is Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays. Cubs used to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, but with Thursday Night Football, I kind of wanted to match that up with the NFL series. So Cubs is now moved to Tuesdays and Fridays. So I will see you guys on those dates for our Cubs franchise. And what we're going to be doing moving forward here with this series is we are now in first place, by the way, 34 and 29. I'm just going to find some pretty cool matchups, and if they've got custom prospects that have been called up, we're going to show off your guys in there too, kind of, make sure you're seeing your guys in action. But we're going to be moving a little bit faster through this series just because it is August, and I started this in the spring. It's taken us 4 months to get through 3 seasons. It's kind of a long time, and I never can seem to finish an MLB The Show series before the World Series starts in actual baseball. So I want to get like as many seasons as we can in so we can start to see kind of the growth of our players and kind of the team that we've built up rather than what's existed here. So we'll see how long that takes, but man, I'm going to be shooting for as many World Series as we can possibly get. That's the big thing. So hopefully our base that we've built here, guys like Chris Addison, guys like David Booth, Reed Stein, Cole Winn that we traded for, Dave Iden is a guy that we drafted last season, Paul Merrow is a guy we drafted, of course Chris Addison's an 80, now Patrick Bailey we traded for, Guadalupe Trujillo is a guy that we drafted as well last season, Tim Pierce. Yeah, so we've got some pretty awesome youngsters coming up, man. So I love the team that we've built, but you got to put it all together, and hopefully we've built something that will stand into the word of dynasty. Ooh, could we be the next New York Yankees? That's the big thing, right? Of the 90s, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, all right, guys. Well, I will see you in the next one. Leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you then. As always, thanks for watching. And wait, where did Pinkard go? We didn't do Chucky Pinkard. We didn't do him. Charles Pinkard. Charles, you're going to be a Cub, okay? I'm just kidding. He's a 75A. I forgot about Charles Pinkard here. We got to do that. We got to figure out the draft order. Oh, the Red Sox. That's who it would go to. Yep. So you're 7 and 5A going to the Red Sox. They had the last pick in the draft. And did I do Pinkard? Wait, hold on a second. I thought you went somewhere. I thought I included you on the wheel. Let's go back to our wheel here. Year 3 patron. Nope. Year 3 patron positional, I think. Year 3 patron positional. Yep, he was in there. Okay, right. You went to the Yankees. Ooh, a little rivalry, right? I was going to put you on the Red Sox, but you did go to the Yankees, Charles. So, there you go. Little misplaced worst draft class. Oh, man. That hurts. Dalton says that's not a bad draft. Oh, that's really not a bad draft. Thayer was a really bad pick, though. Yeah. It's okay, though. It's where you're at, man. Once you're in the playoffs, it's kind of what happens. But all right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for more Cubs on Tuesday. Well, I'm going to try to get into the playoff race like in August. I'm going to try to move past the All-Star break and whatnot. So we'll see how it all goes. Trade deadline, maybe. So we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out.